Hello, everyone. Good morning again from my end, and welcome to One Global Movement, Building Hopes and Dreams. Speak with Heart, where we come together to speak from our hearts and our souls for our children, young people, and women worldwide to help them defeat hunger, illiteracy, poverty, homelessness, and all other social challenges that they face worldwide. So, thank you guys so much again for tuning in today. I can see the managing director is already here, and our beautiful sister Nancy. Excuse me. Thank you guys so much. And you can see me in sweatshirts again. The weather is not very friendly at our end these days. It snowed overnight and a little bit this morning, but it's flaky. And so it quickly melts away, but it is cold. So we are welcoming winter here. And I guess every season happens for a reason. So we're going to take it positively. You want to advise ourselves and our families that live in cold areas to dress appropriately. And if you have the opportunity to offer a winter coat or gloves or hats to people who cannot afford for themselves, so it will be a very good thing to do. So thank you guys again so much for being here. Sister Yvonne has an appointment. She will not be able to be here this morning. And as always, I am here to pick up after anybody that is unable to make it, because we need to focus on ourselves first, our families, our children, before we can come here. So thank you guys so much. I see the managing director says he is going to be multitasking. You're always multitasking, John. That means you are smart and you know what you're doing. So priorities come first, right? So thank you so much for everything. And we are in this series, Mantle of Hope Revolution Part 259. Mantle of Hope Revolution Part 259. And the theme for today is making good decisions. Making good decisions. And I am grateful because Sister Yvonne prepared her paper as always and then send it in to me, so that way I can just have a cheat sheet that I can look on. And I want to just make sure that I presented it in her own words. So we give credit to her, because she's the one who prepared it and turned it in before her appointment today. So we want to thank her for all what she's doing here. And so thank you again. And we always love to start with our quote, but let me repeat the question again. Making good decisions. What does making good decisions means to you? And how do you even start to make good decisions? And what are the advantages of making a good decision? We all know that sometimes what you think that is a good decision, sometimes it doesn't turn out the way that it's supposed to be. And it doesn't have to turn out that way the first time. Sometimes what you love to do, you got to go through some transformation. Going through it, it will fail, and you keep doing it and you keep doing it. And in the end, everything is going to work well for your benefit, for our benefit. So when we love something and we know that that is our calling and we know why we are doing that thing, we just keep doing it until we get it right. And it all begins with a decision. Making and taking a good decision, and it starts from our minds, knowing who we are, knowing our purpose in life. We start thinking about what kind of decision that I'm going to make that is going to impact my life, the lives of those that depend on me, my surrounding, and the global environment. So that is very, very important. Decision is very important. I read the book Think and Grow Rich, and it said somewhere in there that when you ask somebody a question, it takes 10 seconds for that person, more than 10 seconds for that person to answer. Know that it will not be a good answer. And that is hypothetical. It doesn't mean that's 10 seconds. It means it shouldn't take a long time for you to be able to respond to something. Because as we wait, every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month, every year comes with its own things to focus on, to take a decision and focus on. So a lot of times it's always good to make that good decision immediately. You take a leap of faith. You don't know where you're going to land, but it is your journey along the way that it's going to get you there. You don't have to know your destination. You have to be so pleased with experiencing your journey. And as you go along, a lot of resources will come. Your thoughts, readjustments, and other things will come along that they're still going to take you to where you want to be. So long as you're doing it the right way with high moral and ethical values. So, how do you make a good decision? Let us begin to put it in the chat there so that we can learn from one another here, because we are here in Academy helping our children. And so thank you guys, and we want to thank Mr. Ashmufara always for bringing this global family together. So each choice you make is a brush stroke, a brush, like a brush. You just stroke it. It's a brush stroke on the canvas of your life. Let it be vibrant, full of energy, bold, and true to the masterpiece you are creating. It should pertain to what you're creating and not something else, or not a carbon copy or a carbon print of somebody else. It has to reflect your own masterpiece that you are creating. It has to be. It doesn't matter what seems to be a masterpiece to you or to me might not be a masterpiece to the others. And that is perfectly fine, because you are not an imitation of another person. You were not created as an imitation. You were created as a unique image the way you are. So when you are doing something, so long as you know that's your calling or you love to do what you're doing, it does not matter who says what, because there are so many routes, so many opportunities that we can utilize to get towards the same destination. It is very important, but it is unique to you. It is unique to me. And nobody has to talk us out of that. So in every decision, listen to your voice. Listen to that still small voice that aligns with your own highest self. With your own highest self. Because your highest self is, and it comes from the Creator. So for the path you choose today shapes the legacy you build tomorrow, right? It shapes the legacy you build tomorrow. So let us choose it now. And decision is right now. We're not going to postpone, because tomorrow waits for no one. And tomorrow is promised to no one. If we want to do something, we go all out to do it. Because if you don't do it today, tomorrow will bring another challenge, and then you keep postponing it. And then in the end, you will not be focused, and then you become overwhelmed because you have procrastinated and you've postponed a lot. So good decisions are like seeds planted in the soil of possibility. They are like seeds planted in the soil of possibilities. Not one, so many. And we know there are so many possibilities out there for us to take advantage of. So they grow into the towering trees of your great dreams. They just keep growing little by little, little by little. Before you know, they tower up to the skies. And you must have really, really action your big dream out. So the power of a good decision lies in its ripple effects, uplifting not only your own journey, but empowering others in the one global movement. And in this case, we mean children, young people, and women worldwide. So when choices feel tough, and it is going to be tough, there is nothing good that is going to come easy. So when your choices feel tough, remember, a wise decision is an act of courage, fueled by values that transcend the moment and echo through time. It does not just happen just right now. There is nothing that is complete right now. You have to do it. It's a long life journey. You keep doing it, you keep doing it, you keep doing it until you exit the stage of this life. And that is growth. That is growth. You don't, I quote this example before. If you make 12 million or $13 million this year, And next year and the next year, maybe in the next 5 years, you're still at the same spot. That is not growth at all. It has to grow little by little, and before you know, you're going to leave one of the biggest impactful legacies in life. So, which is what we want here in One Global Movement, so that the children that are here, those that are to come, they will keep really using the resources that we are providing here to continue to build on their hopes and their dreams, and also help others to do the same. So, in moments of choice, find your strength in the vision of the world you are helping to build. In the moment of any given choice, find your strength in the vision of the world you are helping to build. Here we are helping to build a world of children, the world of young people, the world of women, a world where compassion, unity, and purpose guide each step that you take. Making good decisions is like weaving threads, one thread to the other. You're weaving this, weaving the thread is like weaving threads of integrity, compassion, and hope into the fabric of our collective future. And therefore, decisions become transformational when rooted in clarity. You want to make sure that the decision that you're making, the good decision, it's very clear, very clear. And you don't have to, you start it and then you begin to adjust it, because you're going to be flexible with every decision so that it fits according to the way your inner voice is telling you. What is it telling you? And I know that that is God speaking to you. And so you follow your inner intuition, and before you know, you have brought it so big, but it must be rooted in clarity, guided by purpose, and aligned with your heart, not somebody else's heart. Let your choices be a beacon for the world, especially towards women, children, and young people. So this is very important. So why is it important to teach our children, young people, and women, or even ourselves, to make good decisions? Why is it important? Why do you think that that is important? Please put your thoughts in the chat so that we can learn from one another. So teaching children to make good decisions is very important because it builds their ability to navigate life independently, responsibly, and with confidence. That kind of confidence that comes from within them. So let's find out why this is very essential to make good decision. And now we're going to dive into Yvonne Finn's paper. Remember, I said she wrote her paper, and always when she's not going to be here, she will send it in. That makes things a little easy for me, right? But I always have to do my own research on every topic. So, making a good decision, a step-by-step guide. She outlined a step-by-step guide to making a good decision. For me, I ask God for wisdom and discernment. This is found in James 1:5. We ask God for wisdom and discernment in every decision we make, because this is the number one guide of all guides in life. So if any of you lacks wisdom, James 1, chapter 1, verse 5 says, if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask the Creator, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given him. God doesn't make decisions for us. We all know that. He doesn't. He does not make decisions for us, though, but he gives us the gift of free will so that we can make decisions and choose to love him. Whatever thing you're doing today, you made that choice, because we all have been given the same free will to make good decisions and also to make bad decisions. So which one are you going to make? And I know that we here in One Global Movement are making good decisions because children are precious. Children are the apples of God's eyes. And therefore, we are stewards to these children to take good care of them the way that God wants us to. Set aside greed, set aside bickering, set aside gossiping, set aside power, set aside all of those emotions that have come to destroy our lives and our children's lives. Because if you do that, you will excel. Sometimes jealousy in a good way, but it's not the best word to use. But we can ask to learn from other people if we don't know something, or we can ask to add on to what we know from what other people know, or we can exchange. We can do an exchange of knowledge so that we all can grow and be truly happy in order to grow others. So God doesn't make decisions for you or I, no, but He gives us the free will so that we can make decisions and choose to love Him with the gift that He has given to us, right? So, and Sister Yvonne gives some very beautiful quotes here. He says, the quality of your decisions determines the quality of your life. And this is by Tony Robbins. The quality of your decisions determines the quality of your life, by Tony Robbins. And the second one, she wrote, the best way out is always through. The best way out is always through. Don't be held back to say, I need to save money. Of course, saving is a good thing, but it is not that money that is going to make you make that good decision. You have to start planning, thinking and planning and writing your goals and your dreams down, and writing down resources that are going to help you so that you can go through. That is so important. And this, we read it in Habakkuk 2:2, that says, write it down on the tablet of your heart so that when a runner is running, they will read it. That means make it very clear. Let it have clarity. Let it have focus, and let it have a purpose, and let it have flexibility, reliability, and all of those things. So, and the third one, she says, it does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. Take that decision. Make it today, that decision. It does not matter how slowly you go, but what matters is as long as you do not stop. That is what matters, right? Take your time, go through the journey, because going through the journey is building you up and building your dreams, and therefore a lasting legacy. And this is by Confucius. That's the person that wrote that one. So making decisions is an inevitable part of life, whether we like it or not, whether knowingly or unknowingly. Making decisions is an inevitable and vital part of life. While we can't predict the future, while we cannot predict tomorrow, we can certainly improve our decision-making process. Yes, you don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. You and I, we are all planning tomorrow. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go transact this business. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to go watch this game. I'm going to do this. Yes, it's good to plan. That is good planning. And we start executing those planning. And tomorrow, when tomorrow comes, we are grateful that we are here. We do it with all our might, with all our bodies. But if tomorrow doesn't meet us, then we are rest assured that our children, our descendants, and children of the world will take it to the next level. That is why it's so important to make those decisions right now and start acting on them. We should not be procrastinators. I used to procrastinate in certain things, but now I long forgot about that. When I want to do something, I jump up and do it. And sometimes my mom is like, "Oh, you need to wait before this gets in place before you." I said, "No, Mom, you don't do that. Tomorrow is promised no one. No one. If you want to do something, do it now. You want to call a friend, call. You want to take some winter jackets or summer clothing to a shelter for children or battered women, do it now. Do it now. You want to just give out maybe $10 to somebody for a meal, do it now, because tomorrow waits for no one. So let us approach decision making in a better way, in a cultivative way, with good habits that will simplify the process. Not simplifying it per se, but will make it better for you to work it out, to action it out. So now let us start. A framework for decision making, part one. She wrote everything step by step. A framework for decision making, part one. What does she say? Define the problem. Is there anyone here that just gets up and go and see the doctor without knowing why you're seeing the doctor for? Is there anyone here that wants to resolve an issue, maybe with your child, without defining the problem, without identifying the problem? Is there anyone here that they can tell you, go and beat that person, go and hit this person, go and kill that person? And they tell you all these lies, and you go and hurt that person without defining the problem, without knowing it for yourself? Clearly articulate the issue at hand. What is the problem? Do you know what it is? Do you know how to identify it? And if you don't know, do you have somebody that you can help? Because sometimes it can be difficult to identify the problem. And this is why we come together as a family, so that we can help one another out. Do not be afraid, do not be ashamed to ask, okay? Because everyone has challenges. Everyone has problems. Sometimes, even me, it is difficult for me to define my problems, because sometimes you are in a different mindset. Nobody knows. Sometimes you're going through some health challenges, so from one thing to the other. And so we have to clearly define the problem, articulate it well, and the present problem. Do not leave your own problems that you have to resolve, and yet you are looking at somebody else's problem. Like you're pointing a finger, look at that person, look at Mundih. She has a problem, she has a problem. And without knowing that, three of the fingers are pointing back at you. You see, when you point there, the other three are pointing at you, which means you also have problems to work on. So in as much as we are trying to help these children and women and young people in the world, we also have to help ourselves. And actually, we have to help ourselves first before looking outside. So gather the information. When you define your problem, the next step is to gather the information. You have to brainstorm, and don't just brainstorm thinking like that. Write it down. If you don't know how to write it down, record it, so you can go back to your recording, or the recording will serve as history for you to always go back and refer. That is how we are reading books from people. That's what they did. And so when you are in the process, you have defined your problem, you gather all your information, and then you have to really collect the data, write it down step by step. You write it down and analyze the information, the data that you've collected thoroughly. And things don't always work out at the first time when you examine it, and know that that's just fine, because that is the process. And then number three, you have to consider an alternative. It's like my grandmother said, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Or when you are going into some places that you have self-doubt, or not even self-doubt, anything that you're doing, you have to consider alternatives. What if, and what if, and what if? What if this works, and then it get to a certain stage and it doesn't? What can I do? And you have to consider that. It's like you are going to take on an adventure. You put your one leg in. You want to make sure that not all the two legs are in, right in there, because you don't know what is going to happen. I can quote the example of unpassive, because we all came here, all of us, for one reason: to make money, to invest. But you cannot stop doing what you're doing without seeing that you are already having some results from your investment. Because with investment, that's why it's called investment. You are investing, you don't take out the money immediately. You invest, you plow back your profit into the business, and then after some time, now you begin to see the proceeds. And then the money will keep working for you. It keeps increasing. When you take out some proceeds, you still put a little bit. It keeps working so that you never run dry. So a lot of us came into unpassive with the thinking, with the thought that it's going to be a magic win, a magic one, that, oh, I'm just going to get this, I'm going to get this money. No, nobody can ever promise you that they're going to do this and it goes, because one thing or the other can go wrong. So that's why we must stick with what we are doing. You don't quit your job. If you quit that job, go look for another one, or go look for a small business and do. You know, I don't work anymore. I decided to take early retirement because of my work related injury. And now I decided to work 100% on One Global Movement. But how do I eat? I continue to do little things at the side that will provide food for me and my family, that will provide a roof over our heads, and that will help to educate the children. So you do not give up until not giving up, you don't get into a situation where you think some magic is going to happen and things just start flowing to you. It doesn't happen that way. That is not life. Otherwise, that thing is not going to be a very good one. And then number 4, you have to evaluate your alternatives. Don't just take this alternative or this one and you just assume that it's going to work. Take time to evaluate them. How is it going to fit in my goals and my dreams? Weigh the pros and the cons of those alternatives, the pros and cons of your solutions or your decision making. And then you know what is going to work and what is not going to work. And then number 5, choose the best option. And the best option is going to be your priority. You do it, for me, as I learned in economics, according to the scale of preference. The scale of preference. Which one do you prefer first and why? When you do like that, then you will choose well, and select the alternative that align with your goals and your dreams and with your values. What are your values for yourself and your children? That is what you're going to choose. And then you take immediate action. Action it out. You don't just write those things and keep them there and keep looking at them, but nothing is coming. You've got to take action and immediately implement your chosen course of action. And number 7, review and learn. Review. Don't just do things because you see that, oh, this thing is really giving me the results that I wanted. And you just keep just going. You always have to go back and review and learn. Like I have a planner here. It's a daily planner and weekly planner. I always go back. I said, let me see what I did. And then I go back and I read. Even a journal. There is a journal here. If you can read it, you see, this is a journal, you know, and you write in it every day. And most often it's a journal of gratitude for the things that are happening to you or what you're doing. And you can go back and review them. All of these things, when you intend to write a book, it will be easy for you. So you don't have to keep thinking and then making those mistakes. You know that you're already writing things down. And then we go to part 2, key considerations for effective decision making. What are some of the key considerations for effective decision making? We talk about consult your higher power. Always consult your higher power. Because without the highest of the powers, you and I would not be here. Mr. Ash Mufara would not have been able to put us together. So whether it is through prayer, whether it is through meditation, whether it is through reading a book, whether it is through feeding the animals, whether it is through admiring a lake, whether it is through walk for smiles or ride for smiles, or whether it is through some goodies in the backpack for children, whether it is school materials or paying tuition for children. There are so many ways that you can use to make effective decision and actually do it from your heart. We know here in Unpassive, and we've seen it a lot, that a lot of people just pretend. They are not actually who and what they say they are. Like my grandmother told me, watch people's action than what they say. And you don't have to say anything, just watch. You know what is best for you. You know the kind of decision that is best for you to make, and you just watch it and do what is good for you. So a lot of us in Non-Passive here, we will just be talking, so that maybe Mr. Ash Mufara can think that, oh, I love him, oh, I love Unpassive. But when you go into people's behavior and into what they say, I don't know if they realize that or not, but it is directly opposite. So seek guidance and inspiration from a higher power, actually the highest power, whether it is through prayer, meditation, or playing a chess game at the table with your children, or having family dinner together, whatever it is you can do, or simply quiet reflection. Take 5 to 15 minutes a day and just sit with yourself. And you know that God is inside of you and around you. Just sit quietly and reflect on yourself without any disturbance. It can actually be a special quiet place in your home, or wherever you feel that it's so calm for you. You sit there with yourself and reflect on yourself and your actions and your words. You will realize that a lot of things are just falling in place, and you will always be happy to take those moments. So it's very important. Then number 2, understand yourself. Leverage your strengths and weaknesses to inform your choices. Leverage them. We all have strengths and weaknesses, and we should admit that without any fear or shame. We do. That is why we are unique in our various ways. What you know, I don't know. What I know, you don't know. But when we come together, put together by Mr. Ash Mufara, we begin to teach one another like we are doing here in One Global Movement, building hopes and dreams. So we teach one another, we read from one another, and we are so happy that we have been put together, like-minded people are put together to begin to make decisions that seek to elevate them and their children. And you're happy with those kind of things instead of joining a crowd of people that don't make good decisions in their lives. And this is what we teach our children, because the children can only learn when they see us doing it. Do you remember that children are very impressionable? What they do is what they actually see you doing. Whether you are the biological parents or not, we are the adults, we are the parents, and we have been called to love, nurture, and educate every child, to give them that power that they need to build on their hopes and their dreams. And so understand who you are. Who are you? Do you know who you are? How many times do you sit with yourself and ask that question? Who am I? Who am I? Why am I here? Why was I created? What am I doing? Where am I going? Who created me? These are the most important questions to ask ourselves in life, and you will be glad that you did. And consider your emotions. Remember, we are born with emotions, right? But we are also born with choices. You can choose the best way to manage your emotions, or you can choose the bad way. You can choose to be calm and considerate and carry yourself in the form of a discussion, or you can choose to yell and scream and call people names. It's up to you. Either way, it's going to serve you. But do you want your decision making to serve you better or to serve you bad? That is what we need to talk about. So recognize the role of your emotions in decision making, but avoid letting them cloud your judgment. We are dealing with children. We're dealing with young people. We're dealing with women. We don't want our decision to tilt towards some children and not towards every child, because every child counts, regardless of their parents' bank account, regardless of the mansions they live in, regardless of their knowledge, regardless of whatever. So we want to make sure that our emotions don't cloud our judgment, trying to play, to be favorable or favoritism, or try to discriminate against one child or the other. We want to make sure that we give choices equally and do away with that unfairness. Unfairness is an emotion we are born with, but we have resources that we can deal with that. And then let us align with your values. What are your values? What are my values? Do you know your values? What are the values that your parents brought you up? Maybe you didn't have parents. What are the values of your society, of your village, of your community? What are the godly values that you were created with? Is what we are talking about here. So make decisions that resonate with your core beliefs, principles, and values. What are your core beliefs? What are your principles and values? And we know that from one person, we know what Mr. Ash Mufara stands for. Those are his core beliefs and values and his principles. We know that. And we all, those core values and principles, we know that they've been rubbing off of us. And so we pick on those things and we also add it on top of what we have, and we keep moving on to a better world for all. So we anticipate consequences. When you're making any decision, you need to anticipate the consequences. We talked about that before. And in our case, we want good consequences, but two consequences has to come out of any decision or anything we are doing. Good or bad. But when it is bad, what are you going to do? Do you have resources in place that you're going to try to help that situation? Because either way, we're going to still have good and bad consequences in life. So consider the potential short-term and long-term impacts of your choices. And here in One Global Movement, we are taking the short-term choices that will accumulate to make a long-term choices for the betterment of children, young people, and women. And learn from your mistakes. Don't say, I didn't make that mistake. I can never make that mistake. That is not me. No, it is us. Mistakes is us. We human beings, we are defined as mistakes. My internet is trying to mess up. We are defined as mistakes. We make mistakes, but those mistakes are there for a reason, so that we can learn and do better. It's just like a child failing a course in school and we lash out at them instead of really finding out how well we can help them. You were not there when that child was reading and preparing for the exam. Maybe they didn't eat well. They didn't even have time to cook. Maybe they ate, but it wasn't healthy to nourish their brains. Maybe, just maybe, the teacher was not teaching in a way that the child can understand. And so we need to find out, what can we do instead of blaming situations? So we learn from these mistakes and we continue to grow. We talk about part 3, why good decision making matters. Why does it matter? Why does making a good decision matters to you? Why does it matter to your children? Why does it matter to you, your entire family? Why does it matter to your husband, your wife? Why? We have to know why it matters. Number one, while individual decisions may seem insignificant, their cumulative impact can be profound. That means the decisions that you make today, it's going to impact so many lives, not just you, not just your children, not just the children in your village or your community. It is going to impact lives beyond your own environment. And like we are doing here, whatever we're doing here, the global world is watching. They're watching. And we want to make sure that we do the right thing, not just for me, for you, for us, but for the others that depend on us. Because those that depend on us, there are other people that depend on them. There are other people that depend. It just keeps going. And before you know, it's the whole world. So we want to make sure that the decision that we are making, it's very cumulative. Cumulative means it's going to accumulate to affect so many, and it's so profound. And then number 2, by making better decisions, you can improve on your outcomes. You can improve on your outcome, achieve better results in both your personal and your professional life. And why not your community life? Because when it's better with your personal life, your professional life, or business life, it's also going to be better because you're doing business with people. You're not doing business with yourself only, right? So it's going to improve even your community life as well. So it also increases your option. When you make a good decision, it's going to increase your options. Yes, it will open so many doors of opportunity and possibilities for you, right? It will, like it is doing to us here now. It is opening so many doors. The moment you keep reading, you keep digging deep down into your personal self, listening to your intuition, to that still small voice, you will realize that you keep increasing, you keep improving, and then your decision-making process will keep getting better and better. And good decision-making also foster personal development and growth. Learn from the mistakes. We already talked about that. And develop valuable skills. Yes, learn from your mistakes. Don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid. Don't be worried about your mistake. We all do, because that's the definition of humans. We all do make mistakes, right? So we should not laugh at people. And like we laugh at children, a lot of children, they've lost trust in us, the parents, the caregivers, and the adults, because we turn to laugh at these children, which is not a good thing, right? So become a leader, demonstrate sound judgment, and inspire others. We all know that we are leaders in our various capacities. It's not being the president of a nation or a prime minister of a nation that is considered a leader. You know that you're already a leader in your own capacity to lead yourself first and to lead your home, to lead your family, to lead your community, to lead in the way that you action out your goals and your dreams. Those are all instances of leadership. We have children ambassadors, One Global Movement children ambassadors, that are already working in the community without us even knowing. They are promoting, even right in Cameroon, they are promoting everything we are doing. Is just because a lot of them, they could not come here because of internet difficulties. And I know that in a lot of areas in the world, it is a big deal, internet difficulties. But they are working behind the scene. Some of them are helping in the Five Chicks per Child program. Some of them are starting to help in a little library that I formed, so that education, and more education is very important. You cannot make a good decision without educating yourself on that good decision, how to implement it, and how to get to the next level. It's the same thing. We're talking about feeding children, right? How are you just going to feed a child without teaching that child how to learn to feed themselves, or how to learn to plant their own flowers and smell it, or how to learn to stay away from chemically produced foods? By teaching them. When you provide a plate for a hungry child, you got to teach that child how to get that plate of food, not just leaving them like that to go hungry again and they keep running back to you. And are you going to be there all the time to provide for these children? There's no way. So we want to teach them to be able to fend for themselves, and in turn also help others to fend for themselves. That is why they say, you teach somebody how to fish. Because if you give somebody fish today and you don't teach them how to fish for tomorrow, then they will always live with the spirit of dependency instead of the spirit of independence. That is very, very important. So remember, demonstrate sound judgment and inspire others with your style of leadership. Remember, the key to effective decision making is not perfection. We hear a lot of people say, I'm a perfectionist. That is just talking. There is none, not you, not me, none of us who is a perfectionist. No, our perfectionist is the Almighty God. That is the only perfection. You and I, we falter, we say things that are not okay, we dupe people, we lie to people, we want to make money where we are not supposed to, we want to steal, we want to confiscate, we want to seize people's properties. I'm saying this from experience. It's everywhere. We want to suppress and oppress people. We want to curse our children and say things to our children that are not okay. And that is not a good thing. Remember, the key to effective decision making is not perfection. Not at all. It's not perfection, but progress. Firm, steady, clear, but sure progress. You just keep moving at your own pace. You're not running a race with any person else. If there's any person that you're running a race with, is yourself. You're running a race with yourself and the God that created you, by asking God for other ways to keep improving on your stuff. You're not going to be comparing with other people like we see here in Unpassive. A lot of people are competing and comparing. A lot of people are bullying other people and doing things that are not okay. A lot of people are lying, trying to cover up for their own things and trying to shift the blame and putting on other people. And we do that too in our homes. We do that always. He say, hey, look at that person there. That person is the problem when you are actually the problem. Because these fingers, 3 are pointing at you, 1 is pointing at the other person. So we need to remember that. So by following these guidelines and cultivating a mindful approach, we can empower ourselves to make choices that lead to a fulfilling and successful life through a good decision making. This is very important. So, Sister Yvonne ends here with quotes. The only person repeating those same quotes, because repetition is very good. What you started hearing from the beginning, now you're going to hear it again now towards the end so that you can remember. And remember, all of these things, you can't just do them all at once. It will be overwhelming. You take one step at a time. Just bite what you can chew and swallow. And when you do that, now you build self-confidence. Now you know you can do it. And then you do it again a little more, a little more, a little more, a little more. Before you know, your big goal and dream has been accomplished. So sometimes we will not be able to understand all of this because that's not how the human brain works. Sometimes we want our children to do more than they can do without really actually studying their own learning and understanding pattern. No, let them do as they can do. With all of these points here, we can take one point at a time. We just make it like a play, like a game with our children. But before you know, you are not just playing a game, you're actioning it out and they're understanding things. This is what we mean here. So, the only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. This is by Ralph Waldo Emerson. The only person you are destined to become is the person you have decided to be. What is your decision? What have you decided to become? As for me and my household, I have decided that I am going to be the very first child in my bloodline to eradicate hunger, eradicate illiteracy, eradicate poverty, and build generational wealth that will help children, young people, and women worldwide, beginning with me and my home and my village. That is very, very important. When you do that, you will be happy. So your future is created by what you do today. What you do today matters. Make that decision to do something today, no matter how small, but make sure you document what you're doing because that documentation is going to help you, your family, your children, and the children that we are striving to help so that when they read it, they can follow the steps that help you to succeed. So write it down. Your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow, because we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring to us. Tomorrow has never been promised you or me. We've not been promised it. So today is our day. We woke up, we are breathing, we are together here, we are trying to help one another and therefore help our children. So let's do it and do it to the best of our ability so that when tomorrow doesn't meet us, we are rest assured that we did the best that we can do, that we made the best decision. So your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. That is by Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you guys have read the novel by Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he is a very influential figure here and a big businessman. So the only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. That is by Franklin D. Roosevelt, one of the presidents of the United States of America. The only limit to our realization, he says, of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. We are doubting today. We doubt, oh, I'm not sure if they're going to give me what I'm asking for. I'm not sure if I ask, they will even take a look at me. I'm not sure because they did this, they did this in the past. I'm not sure. No, the past is gone. Let us do it right now, today, at this present moment, here and now, is what we are talking about. And so, now, the quality of your decision determines the quality of your life. Remember that. The quality of my decision is going to determine the quality of my life, and the same thing applies to you. And this is what Tony Robbins said from the beginning. And the best way out is always through. Remember that quote from the beginning? The best way out is always through. That means the best way out in decision making or in anything we do is going through it. Go through it. Because when you go through something, sorry, let me turn this thing off here. Sorry, my phone is going off. So it's to go through it without postponing or procrastinating, or without sitting there and be grumbling and talking about what other people are doing and you're not doing your own. So go through it. And this is said by Robert Frost. It does not matter. It does not, and it has never mattered how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop, right? Does not matter. Let us not barrage our children to say, oh, look, you did not get an A in this. You didn't get a B in this. What about you? Or let's not tell them, your friends are doing this, they are doing this, they are making a lot of money and you're not. No, when you tell them that, you have really, really dampened their spirits. Nobody is exactly the same like the other. We must teach our children with that uniqueness that they were born with, without competing and comparing and pushing them into things that are going to give them anxiety before we start putting them on medication and saying that these children, they're not good. It stems from us, the parent. We are the problems in our children's life. We are part of the problems that have been caused to the world because of our greed and power and thievery and the things that we are doing that are not good. And when these children see it, they do the same. And then you start blaming your child when we are the causes of all of these challenges. So it does not matter how slowly. Let's repeat it to ourselves and our children. It does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop. And this is said by Confucius. That is a quote there. So now we talk about acronyms. Decide, define, evaluate, choose, implement, decide, evaluate. That is the acronym for decide. Wise choice. Wise, informed, strategic, effective, consistent, honest, optimistic, courageous, empathetic. And then closing thoughts. Let the calmer you are, the clearer you think. When you're calm, when you are in that perfect mindset, in tranquility, in calmness, you're calm, you're not rushing, you're not being angry, you're not worried. And how do you bring calmness to your life? If you're like me, behind my home here, I watch at the lake. The beauty of the lake just calms me out. Or I sit in my garden of flowers. Or I play some calm music. And when you're calm, the clearer your decisions will be. Okay? You would think wisely, you would think happily, you would think in a loving way, you would think that you can do it. You can make the decision and you can action it out. So let your decisions come from a place of inner peace. A place of inner peace, not from reaction. Don't be quick to react. Oh, what does she think she is? What does he thinks he is? When you do like that, we are hurting ourselves. Let's not do that. And of course, Sister Yvonne gave the resources, which is http://blog, a lot of resources, helping kids to make more empowered and ethical decisions. It's very, very important. So thank you guys so much for listening. And I am going to appreciate everyone now. But first of all, general appreciation for everyone here today. Thank you guys so much for coming together so that we can uplift children and humanity from our hearts, and especially as our CEO, Mr. Ash Mufara, brought us together to do this. This is one of the most beautiful things that I am doing, and I know that it is also for you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And let's go here. And I have some pictures to show. Tomorrow, we are going to be talking about November is Men's Wellness Month. And we are going to respect all our men by coming together to talk about their health. Men's Wellness Month is tomorrow, and so we're going to be talking about that. Bring a lot of people. Bring not just men, because we need to support our men too. We need to support our men and our young boys, so they start knowing these things from very small, how important it is to place on their health. All of us. If you don't have your health, you cannot have any wealth. Not at all. So thank you so much to the managing director here. I know you are multitasking, but you are always prepared to be here to serve our children. Thank you so much. And today's theme is making good decisions. Okay, folks, let's get ready for today's discussion. Feel free to comment here in the chat. Please type your thoughts. Sure, John. Thank you. And I am multitasking, so I hope our regulars and our leaders will keep the chat alive and greet everyone. I am trying to study lines while listening today. Okay, John, bring some of those lines. Let me study them along with you. But yes, they are here. I know that Nancy is here, and she's always going to do something great. So thank you. And thank you so much, Nancy, for always working behind and on the scene. I don't see any early bird or regulars here. I hope the late link didn't hurt because the early link does not work. Oh, really? I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm sorry. I'm here just doing two things at once. I hope I made a good decision. Yes, of course. Sometimes you can multitask, right? Yeah, because that is so important to you too as well. So careful thoughts help to make good decisions. That's true. We have our beautiful sister here, Sanjo Ashmira. How are you, sister? Thank you so much for joining us today. We miss you. I know that, but you are also thinking about our children behind the scenes. So thank you so much for joining us today from that end. And we have our beautiful sister, Melanie Mukamugema. Thank you so much, sister. I wish I could have joined you on stage, but unfortunately, I am at work. You're answering those phone calls, right? That's okay. You still join us anyway. Thank you so much. And she says, I'm just popping in to say hi and bye back to work. Thank you. Thank you. And we have our handsome brother here, Mr. Momodu Jallo. Hello, Mrs. Mundih, sis, Yvonne, Mr. Ash, the tech team and staff everywhere, and all my beloved global ambassadors. Thank you for everything you've done and still doing for us. God bless you all. Thank you so much for that kind of consistency, Mr. Jallo. Thank you. And we have Sir AP Madhusudan is here again today. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us from that end. And we highly appreciate you for everything that you're doing for children in your community around the world as well. Thank you. Mamadou Jallo, and welcome to One Global Movement. Speak with Heart today. Thanks for helping. Yes. And Maria Just, thank you again for always joining us. I highly appreciate you for your support for children worldwide. And we have Pretty Henry. Is this Pretty? Wow, what a great Pretty. Do I know Pretty? Well, I was thinking maybe it's Sir Mahosadanan's daughter. Wow, what a great and applied talk being delivered by you, dear sister. It's truly adaptable. Thank you so much for that inspiration. I highly appreciate you. Thank you. And we have SK Jafar Ali Saka. Thank you so much, sir, for being here with us. I highly appreciate you. Come again. Thank you so much for supporting children. And Pretty says, while dealing with children, we must be aware about our thoughts to act accordingly without any kind of discrimination, and we must not be judgmental. Wow, excellent advice. Thank you so much. You know, I say this a lot because when you look around the world, you know, especially those families that say they are rich, when they employ babysitters, they maltreat these children. They don't let these children eat on the same table with them. They don't treat these children like they belong. They treat these children like they don't belong. And so when they do that, it's not a good thing. These children, they feel like they're outcast, they are not loved. And it's easy to manipulate them out there when they go out there. And so that's why we really emphasize on this. Let us treat all children like they belong, and because they do, they belong. And let us give them the same choices so they can choose what they feel that it is good for them. Thank you so much for that statement. Hello, Otampa Pri. How are you, my beautiful little girl? Thank you so much for joining us today. We miss you, but thank you. You're here with us today. And thank you so much, Sir Alisaka Mondal, for this poetic reading. Thank you. It's very inspiring. I appreciate you. We have Sahid Aslam. How are you, Sahid? We are happy that you're here today. We thank you and we appreciate you. Come again. Thank you so much. And you're having hello from the managing director as well. Thank you. Hello, one of the great global leaders over here. Thank you so much. We all are great leaders here from Unpassive, and we thank you so much. And special hello to you, Mr. Barilla, from Sir AP Mathusedanan. And Nancy says, hello, family. Don't forget to press the big thumbs up. Subscribe if not yet done. Turn on the notification bell and share with families and friends. Please go ahead and put the big thumbs up so that YouTube will continue to help us. And if please take a minute or two to subscribe. And you can also go to Facebook. We have our Facebook page where you can like and follow so that we can continue to gather resources along the way and in preparation for helping our children. So thank you. And Pretty says, it's all about cultivating the mind. Thank you so much, dear sister. Thank you for appreciating me. Thank you. Thank you. That really inspires me. Thank you so much. And Nancy says, Sir AP, I am very happy to see you. Yes, we all are happy to see him. You know, we are waiting for him to take the stage again someday here to talk to the children. So thank you so much for welcoming him, Nancy. And Pretty says, helping with heart is a good habit, like with a resolution to make at least someone happy every day with a beautiful flower. Yes, that is so beautiful to say. Thank you so much. And thank you, Nancy, Sir AP says. So, likable platform, blessed prayers for everyone all around the world. Stay safe, stay fit, stay blessed all. Thank you so much. You as well, Pretty. We highly appreciate you. Take the time to subscribe if you have not already done so, so that you can get notification for when we go live and for when we have new content. Thank you. And we have Cheryl Bez is also here again today. Thank you so much, my beautiful sister, for supporting children worldwide. We appreciate you. And Sepi says, in India, we are suffering from severe air pollution. Wow, AQI is near to 1,000. Wow. I'm really sorry to hear that. Let us do something. Let us be environmentally friendly, because this air pollution is as a result of us not managing our environment well. Our water, our lakes, a lot of places, not just in India, they are suffering with that. And we need to be teaching waste disposal, teaching clean water supply, which we did clean water in the past. We want to be doing those things, because if we are not treating our environment well, we are not treating ourselves well, and we are not treating our children well. It's so important that we do this. So thank you so much for letting us know. And thank you so much, Ashel, for giving this world a beautiful, global, massive Unpassivians family with hashtag Unpassive, the ethical hashtag AI journey. Gratitude, Ash, sir. Yes, our gratitude always go to Mr. Ash Mufara, because without him, we will not be here, right? Thank you so much, Pretty, for saying that. Then we have our brother, Sir Praveen Kumar, we miss you, but you are here today. I'm glad that we all are coming back again, but take time to take care of yourself and do your own things, but also know that we are here together to help our children. Thank you so much for being here today. We love you. And Sir AP, thank you so much for your inspiration. And thank you that you are here again, because you are a big part of children in the world, especially as you are helping in your community in India. We highly appreciate you. And thanks to everyone. We have David, Doc Passive, Rosalski. Hey, 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 family. How are you, David? Thank you so much for being with us here today. We highly appreciate you. If you have not subscribed, do so that you can get notified for when we go live. And we have our beautiful sister, Catrice Williams. How are you, Catrice? Thank you so much. Thumbs up. You put your thumbs up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you guys so much. I'm going to show you guys some beautiful graphics here that Sister Sharon is doing so that we can continue to help our children well. So let me go here and bring them out. Share the screen. Share. I go to WhatsApp and I share the WhatsApp, and let me see here. Am I doing the right thing? Okay, let me go back again and do it, please. Excuse me. Let me share those pictures. Let me go back and do it. Share. Share the screen. Huh. What is the WhatsApp here? Just please give me a moment, okay? Let me pull up WhatsApp here. Just a moment, please. I thought I had arranged it so well, but not yet. Just 1 second. It's coming up. Sorry about that. Come on, come on, come on. Go, go, go. It's coming. It's coming slowly but surely. Okay, here we go. We have the WhatsApp here. We have our WhatsApp here. Okay, now let's go back here. And we share the pictures. Share screen. WhatsApp. Okay, we got the pictures here. You see this one? Wednesday, November 20th. Yes, it's World Children's Day and National Child Day in Canada. So let us join to celebrate with these children by the things that we do online, because online is the order of the day. And for those who are on grounds with these children, we congratulate you for what you're doing, because doing it for the children in Canada is doing it for children in the world. So thank you so much for doing that, Sister Sharon. Thank you. And that is another picture. Stand up for children's rights. Encourages universal actions to ensure these rights are respected, to create an inclusive environment where every child's voice is listened to and valued. Very, very important. Thank you so much. And this one here, National Child's Day again, hashtag 8 million empowered. Our collective goal to empower all 8 million kids in Canada by defending their rights and ensuring they have the support to thrive. Children and youth are not merely future dreamers, but present day innovators, leaders, and change makers. Stand up for children's rights. Yes, we can do this, and let us all do it. And let's stand together against bullying. Bullying, standing up against bullying, it's the right of the child not to be bullied. So building awareness and prevention week in Ontario. Bullying is not acceptable in our schools and our communities, and even at home. We must never bully our children, but we must start to discuss with them to find solutions and resolutions to their challenges. Thank you so much. And this one says, be a buddy, not a bully. Kindness is the true strength stand tall and stand together against bullying, right? Thank you. And then here it says it's all about changing the face of men's health. Tomorrow, I mentioned that we are talking about men's health tomorrow. This month is all about changing the face of men's health, and we're going to do that tomorrow. So encourage a lot of us to be here so that we can get to do this together. All right, let us stand up to help our men. Men's Health Awareness Month, men's mental health. We've talked about mental health before in general terms, and now we're going to specify, because mental health is one of those things that a lot of people are dying in silence because they are being labeled. We all have mental health, and we all have mental challenges of one kind or the other. So Men's Health Awareness Month is, we're going to talk about tomorrow, mental health. We want to remind every male, whether it is old, young, older, or younger, not just today, but every day, your life matters. And we mean it. Your life matters. You are the strong pillars of every society behind women and children. Even when things feel hopeless and dark, don't you ever give up. Don't give up. You are not alone. Know that you're not alone. Let's raise awareness to better recognize the importance of mental health in our lives. Let us do that. We must raise awareness, and we must never think that the man should not complain just because he's the man. We all must come together to help us, to help men, to help our children, to help everyone. But tomorrow we're going to be talking about men's mental health. So thank you guys so much for today. I highly appreciate each and every one of you here. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Tomorrow is another better day. And remember, feel free to hop onto the panel here if you have one or two things to say. This panel is not just for some people and not for some. We are here in Academy already discussing and learning from one another, because no one person knows it all. And this is the kind of education that we are advocating for every child. They should have choices. They should have all inclusion. They should be respected. Their rights should be respected. They should be allowed to think, to dream, and to action out. Everything is what we are here talking about. And David says we need to take care of the kids. We know they are the future. They will only do what we program them to do. Thank you so much. A lot of the children around the world have been pre-programmed to think and act in a certain way. And when you think and act in a way that is not your natural way that you were created with, you will develop emotional disturbances, and sometimes, a lot of time, not sometimes, mental illness and a lot of other things that are not okay. We have to begin to advocate and also writing to our leaders, because it is happening in the world every day, where some kids are being abused at home, in the community, or they are even abused on the global stage. And these kids are children. They're confused. They don't know what they are doing. So thank you so much, David, for saying that. So it's welcome, though, Brother David. Yes, it is welcome. Thank you guys so much. And as you all know, or those of you who don't know, we will not be able to play our international anthem anymore. And we will not be able to play like the Bob Marley song anymore, because Facebook and YouTube were on my case, on the One Global Movement case, that I'm not supposed to be doing that. So we leave that alone. But I've also written about 5 songs for One Global Movement, but I am not a composer. I don't know how to compose songs. So I'm waiting to see if somebody can help me compose those songs for One Global Movement so that we can begin to play our own. But I'm also trying to see what are the copyright policies. If somebody knows, let me know so that I can ask Facebook and YouTube to see how we can use some of that music, because music is the fruit of the soul. We love our music and we love our international anthem. Love you, dear sister. Thank you. Love you too, pretty. Thank you so much. I love you all. And until tomorrow, Have a good night. For our brothers and sisters in India, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite you. And for those of us who are still here in the afternoon, I wish you the best of the rest of your day. And until tomorrow, I love you all. Bye-bye.